Okay, well, haven't felt this in a while. Hi, welcome to the round 24 fan cams after the Blues lose. They lose a game of football. Can you believe it? 11 goals, 7, 73 to 16 goals, 9, 105 at Marvel Stadium. That's the final game of the season. There it is right there. 32-point loss. An interesting one. I'm actually really curious to see how everyone absorbed that one. So we'll get everyone's thoughts. These fan cams are proudly brought to you by Northern Tile Distributors, our new friends. And basically what we'll do on the fan cams is just get your reaction to every game, that one in particular. So if you'd like to join the fan cams, I've got the link in the chat right now, and we'll get through it. Let's do this. It's nothing we haven't done before. Tommy.
Tell you what, they build us up for 9 weeks and then they produce that. An absolute fun. Nah, I'm only joking. Who gives a fuck? We're playing finals. Do you know what I mean? Come on, if you're coming on here as a miserable bastard, tell you what, you've got a right hook coming from your Uncle Pom. 9 out of 10, baby. You know what I mean? Like, if you told me, like I said to chat, you're going to lose one of your next 5, I'd choose this one because it means the next 4 I'll win the flag. Do you know what I mean? Was it good? No. Was it an entertaining game? No. Were they on? No. Did they shelve Charlie Curnow for 20 minutes? Yes. What was Voss do or die like a final? No. Like, come on, man. 1 game out of 10 they've lost. Fuck me. Jesus. Let's hang ourselves.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was a really unique experience. You're sort of sitting there, and even in the first, I thought, oh, we're the better side. I'm pretty sure we're the better side, but I mean, at the end of the day, the Giants are literally playing for their lives today, and fair play to them. They've had a strong finish to the season, and they clearly had more hunger, more desperation than what we did. They had a lot more to play for.
I think it's less complex with that. Like, there was a lot of people in chat. I can't believe it. Some of the social media, I can't believe it. Some of the fans at the ground, some of the things I've heard, I've seen some dark places of this. Big Mozzie there. We heard that a lot, didn't we? Fucking momentum. You can't get much better momentum than 9 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, fuck me. I'll say this, right? I can tell if you've ever done anything in sport that has a round robin system and played a game when you're already mentally into the next stage. And this game doesn't have any bearing on your qualification, your seeding or anything. You just do it, right? You've just got to go through the motions. I mean, come on. That was Carlton of old. The least tackles they've had since Essendon, the least pressure acts. There was a distinctive cue in the rack feel about that. And then I go back and look at some good coaches, some people that know a little bit more than me. Clarkson talking about the last game is always the toughest because you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Fly said it last year. Do you know what I mean? That if it wasn't Carlton, they wouldn't have gone so hard in such a brutal game. The year before, Chris Scott, we put too much onus on round 22 and round 23 to win the flag premiership and to win the minor premiership. Like, if anyone's jumping on after that, fuck me. Let's judge them when there is 4 quarters in a final. Like, that wasn't out and that we've seen the last 10 weeks. It was nowhere near the level. And Jesus, tell you what, I'd love to see this fan cam if Carlton had won that by 45. Wheaton had done an ACL. Curnow had done a hammy. I'd love to see if everyone was like, oh, we're winning the flag. Like, bit of preparation. Yeah. Crowd seemed flat. Everyone seemed flat.
Yeah, there was certainly a flatness to it. Start of the game was kind of intense, but yeah, I got some messages after the game saying, "Oh, the momentum's shot. We've ruined it. We've undone our work." Like, have we? Did we?
Tell me, right, Uncle Pom life lesson, right? If you will find the hardest hurdle you ever face in your life is usually the last fucking hurdle. It's the hurdle before the dream. It's that where the earth and the universe make you question, do I go on one more week? Do I go on? Because I'm so close. Of course, it hurts, but like if you give up now, man, they might as well give up. Do you know what I mean? They've lost. The statistics of winning 15 in a row to win a flag are less than 4, massively. I mean, next week is more important. They'll play Sydney in 2 weeks' time. They'll smash them, and everyone will be back on again. It's tough. It's hard to judge, but tell you what, that was nowhere near the Carlton football team that you wanted. And tell you what, I am actually turned on that we are in a position where we could run out a game knowing that if we win, we're 5th, we lose 5, and we win the flag. Like, Jesus Christ, people saying that's the game over. This is it. Jesus Christ. Go back and watch the Essendon game and then come and talk to Uncle Pommy. Go back then. Like, if I'm not worried, I tell my kids this: Daddy doesn't shit himself, you don't shit yourself. Do you know what I mean? I am not shitting myself. If that happens in a final, maybe. But fuck me, come on. I've seen, like, Jesus, man. Like, anyone who says we should have gone hard tonight, I'd love to have seen your face when 6 people would have got injured.
Yeah. I mean, look, I went into the game looking at those who were on the fringe to see who's going to maybe stake a claim for the side in a few weeks' time. What did you go into this game really looking for? I mean, obviously, the Charlie's Coleman medal was one of the storylines going into the game, but what did you actually expect?
I guaranteed you do it by quarter time, because the fans were jumping on last night going, oh my God, Colonel's not going to win the Coleman. He eats 2 goals for fucking breakfast, man, with his 8 wheat bix. Come on, have some faith. What did I expect? I was impressed with the first half. I thought the level of intensity they brought, we played a little bit of a risk matching that intensity. We created more turnover opportunities this week than we have done over the last 4 weeks. So everyone's saying our turnover games ruined. We created the opportunities, we didn't execute. There was a distinct lack of execution. Do you know what I mean? In that it was very blasé. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just, if you're upset about tonight, like Josh _ is up and about, the most miserable person in the world. You got Debbie O'Connor complaining about we didn't try to win. They are playing finals 5th with nothing on the line. If they won by 100, they were 5th. If they lost by 5,000, they were 5th. Like, tell me you've never played any sport above any level that Daddy's proud of without telling me. Like, what were they meant to do? Like, what were they meant to do? It wasn't great. They were piss poor. But I guarantee you right now, they'll beat Sydney. Guaranteed. And you'll all be up and about.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's for the first time in a long time, this is not the last session of the fan cams for a season at the end of round 24. And so it's really just about rest and recovery. There were a few things that I didn't really see clearly because I was at the game. I don't know if you did. The Akers collision. To be honest, I didn't see it. I saw a replay of it. The messages that I'm getting tell me that it's a bit more serious. Did it look bad? What was the story?
Well, I mean, it was said at the end of the broadcast, because I watch it on mute, that it was his collarbone.
Okay.
Did it look bad? It was iced. I've broken my collarbone. I can tell you I would not be sat if it was broken laughing. Like,
Right.
it fucking hurt. I can tell you right now. And I'm quite a hearty human being. It hurts.
Right.
So I think that's a bit, I think it's probably badly bruised at best case. At worst case, it may be hairlined, but he looked fairly jovial. And I can only go on jovial because you're playing finals for the first time in 10 years. You'd be pretty fucking gutted to miss that.
Yeah.
Then what other injuries we have? The eye gouge. I think the eye gouge is an interesting one.
I saw the
That,
clip. It didn't look as bad. Maybe I'm
it's one of them
biased.
ones that I always say to you, Terry, if you have to slow it down, it looks fucking horrible.
Yeah.
If it's in real time, it looked like he was trying to drag him off because Toby Green's a prick. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting. Do you know what I mean? That'll be interesting. Aside from that, Kemp had a corky. Sard evidently did something in the warm-up and he was limping most of the game. I mean, to be honest, let's be honest. These boys are special boys, man. They've won you 9 in a row. This time 10 weeks ago, we were sacking coaches. We were burning Icon down. We were moving to fucking Tasmania. The world was ending. This was the final days. This was Donald Trump's Capitol Hill speech 10 weeks ago. You're kidding me, right? They've won 9 in a row with half the players out. You could play. You could bring Camp Olsen back. And that other melt from St Kilda, Liam Stocker, and I'll be confident against Sydney. They're a little bit of a different side. Do you know what I mean? They look strong. Wheater will be fine. Bring them on. Who's next, baby? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's next? Bit of false hope now.
So that's that, mate. That is the conclusion of the regular season. We end up winning 13 and a half games, finished the last 10 games of the season 9-1. I don't know where it came from. They put themselves into a hole. They dug themselves out of it. They got themselves back to above sea level, and all of a sudden we're contending for a flag, and a new season begins. You know, literally tomorrow morning we wake up. I mean, we'll review it, do the ratings, do the show, get to Tuesday, and then we've got 2 weeks, and then we play on a Friday night footy, our first final with this group.
No, Terry, not a new season. The real stuff.
The real season.
The real stuff.
Yeah.
This 23 rounds is just Mickey Mouse and a waste of your time and my time. Do you know what I mean? The real shit starts now. The real shit where you get one opportunity, one fucking game. All the way through one game, you slip up. This is the real stuff. This is where men become icons. This is what I'm on about, Terry. Not this Mickey Mouse 4 points, no points, 2 points for a draw rubbish. I'm on about the real shit.
Yeah.
Knockout football. That's what we're on about. And let's get around them, man. Okay, it was bad tonight. How many times? Honestly, I am totally not disappointed. How could I be disappointed? These boys won 9 in a row and brought it back from the brink. Tell you what, if someone dies and they're resuscitated, you're not going to say, it fucking took you 8 minutes to come back alive. It's been 10. You're just glad they're back. Let's get around them. So I want to make sure everyone, because I'm going to tell you this now. Uncle Pom's telling you something. They're going to write articles about these for 2 weeks that, oh no, the wheels are coming off. They're going to push that turnover agenda. They're going to push all that nonsense. And if you are a Carlton fan pushing that agenda, you might as well support Collingwood. These boys need you for 2 weeks to distract them from them odious wankers. Your John Rouse, your David Kings, them real odious, angry people that don't have love in their life. You've got to fucking flood socials with belief for these boys, because the press are going to have a field day. They're going to have a field day. We brought them round. We've stuck with them. Stick with them again. They're going to do magical things, these boys. They're going to pay you back. In 2 weeks' time, they will show you what this football club's about. And I'll tell you what, right now, the Swans are going to get fucking dicked. Fucking dicked by our boys. Absolutely dicked. And tell you what, guess who could be next? After that, could be the Pies. And that's what we want, baby. Bring them on. I want the best.
That's right. The ultimate test. Well, mate, hope the watch along was enjoyable as it could have been.
I'll just say it was the worst 25 minutes of my life.
Why is that?
It was fucking horrible. Saw me nan die, and I'd rather go and do that again because that was more positive.
Well, mate, see you in finals. We'll see you tomorrow.
Mate, you'll see me tomorrow. And come on, fucking Blues. Bring me back 17, baby.
See you, mate. Paolo.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm glad it's over. Just get home, get to bed.
Yeah.
Do it tomorrow, and then let the real stuff begin.
Get it out of the way. We've got bigger fish. It's nice to say we've got bigger fish to fry, eh?
Well, it's just a situation that we just have not seen to get to.
No.
I think most of the league thought that this game was going to be the game we would need to win to make finals, given the way the season had played out, and
Yep.
not a good result. Not a and I think
No.
what they've done is they've shown really clearly when they've got that energy defensively and when they don't, and they just didn't have it tonight for 4 quarters.
I think you could see after a certain point they kind of geared down as well, which is, I think, to be expected. I think we expected them to be a little bit better execution based, but no, I
Yep.
think Bobby's spot on with what he says. Like, God, mate, people are nothing's been undone. It's not. It's just natural human instinct to play the way they did tonight for certain patches, and you could see the spices weren't there tonight that we've seen
Yeah.
for the last couple of weeks as well, and that's understandable. But yeah, the performance obviously not great, but I mean, hopefully Akers is okay. You could see they tried a few little different things. They tried to tinker with a few things. Kemp got thrown up forward. Fisher was back to half forward for little bits and pieces as well too. Durden coming in off how long? Like 10 weeks out, which is, he had to get back into it too. So you could see he was a step off as well. So, and Cripps and Doherty, I mean, it's your captain and vice captain who are going to come back into the team and add so much as well. So the one thing that really disappointed me tonight and really did me up the wall was our supporters. Not happy at all. The mass exodus through that last term was a disgrace. It was a disgrace. I'm sorry. That was an absolute disgrace. And people who want to use, it was a Sunday night, it was cold, I wanted to beat the traffic, I've got to take the kids to school in the morning, I've got to take these people here in the morning, I've got to wake up at this time in the morning. Well, why go then? Why go? Don't go. All that there's one thing. These players have not asked for us to do anything this year, Terry. They've not asked for us to do anything at all. They asked for us as a fan base to do one thing today. Bring the energy. That's what they asked for us. That's what they asked from all of us, right? People rocked up. How flat was it after quarter time? It was like a library.
It was a bit
library after quarter time. And I don't care. I don't care if it's a result that's not going to mean anything, that we can't go up or can't come down. Your role as a supporter and as a fan, you only do half your duty when you scan your ticket into the ground and rock up, right? That's half your duty. The next half of your duty is to bring the energy. The fans didn't, and the performance replicated that. Sorry. Not good enough.
Yeah.
Not good enough. They deserve so much more from us tonight. So much more. 9 wins in a row and people walked out halfway through the fourth term. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
If the fans are going to hold the players into account the way that they have for the last 12 weeks, you've got to hold yourself into account for the same thing. Because if you expect them to be there for 4 quarters and to play for 4 quarters, and if you don't do that as an individual, well, what hope do they have? It's as simple as that. You ask for that from them, you've got to do the same thing as well. Period. That's it. Sorry. That's my only gripe tonight. I was so disappointed in that. So disappointed. Because if we had been up by 40 points, and I know we weren't, and people are going to leave when they're down and whatever. People will do what they want. If they had been up and if the game had been on in the balance halfway through the fourth term, no one would have had to take their kids to school in the morning. No one would have said it was cold. No one would have said there was traffic. No one would have said they had to take their dog for a walk tomorrow at 5 a.m. No one would have said they had to take grandma to the nursing home at 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. None of that would have happened. Period. That's it. All they asked for was one thing. The players asked for one thing. Bring the energy. We did it, and that was really disappointing. But look, aside from that, we've got a big final series coming up, and that there should be. I'm hoping there's some training that we can go to give them our support. So rock up to that and stay and give them your support.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think one thing I've learned is there's always the process of dealing with a loss with this team, with this club. And I just hope it doesn't linger too much and I'm not sweeping it under the carpet. I mean, yeah, it was disappointing. The energy wasn't there, but it's like we're about to go into the most critical point.
I sat there through 120-point losses without leaving, and I didn't even think about leaving. I sat there through 120-point losses. What right do I have to say, oh, no, I'll just pack up shop now because I'm going to take this for granted because in 2 weeks it's okay. It's okay.
Mm,
It's all good. In
mm,
2 weeks it's all good. 40,000, 45,000 people rocked up. They said that the Sunday night fixture was fine. No problems with that because they rocked up. Now all of a sudden it's too late. Not good
mm.
enough.
No,
Not good
it's
enough.
a fair challenge because we're gonna need every single bit of it in a few weeks' time. We got to pack it. I mean, Friday night,
So,
95,000
okay,
people.
so if we're 20 points down, say we play a final on a Sunday night, right? For argument's sake, say we play a final on a Sunday night and we're 20 points down halfway through the last term. You going to leave early?
No. Of course not. Of
Exactly.
course not. Yeah. From tonight, uh, any of those fringe players you think stake their claim to stay in the side?
It's a good question. I think Fogarty had some nice defensive moments. Yeah, I think he had some nice. Cunningham looked a little bit better, looked a bit
Mhm.
more involved. Didn't have. I don't think he had. I don't think his end product was as great as it could have been, but I think that was just probably just a byproduct of everyone around him as well. Uh, as much as he's your boy Durden, I don't think he's going to be in the finals team. Um,
Yeah. He
I think
obviously came in
Motlop,
from Motlop. Yep.
yeah, I think Motlop will come straight in for him. He had some moments, but yeah, he just as a small forward, I think you can kind of be flash in the pan in these kind of games, and that's what small forwards do. But I just it's hard, look, it's hard after 10 weeks to come back in and have an impact. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, look, it's going to be there's going to be some line ball calls. Dow, yeah, was okay. Had some nice moments. He had the hip moments where he's kind of wriggled his way through traffic as well. But yeah, no, I thought Dow was okay. But I do think there's with Cripps and Doherty to come back in plus Motlop as well. I think the changes will obviously those three will come straight in. I don't know who comes out, but yeah, it might very well be Dow, Cunningham, and maybe Durden, or maybe Akers comes out for someone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just depending on how bad it is.
What was your take on Harry and how he's moving? He doesn't seem to be moving with the same power.
No, I wouldn't be too worried about him. Nah, no, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be too worried about him. I'm not too
I mean, he
worried.
gets a few weeks now, so obviously he's still recovering. He's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
2
yeah,
games
yeah,
under his belt.
yeah,
But we definitely need the best of Harry if we're gonna be contending
yeah.
and really
No, the
pushing
Giants are a
in.
good team, mate. They're a good team. It's no excuse, but he was a bit flat last week. But again, it doesn't. Him in the team just makes it so much easier for Charlie, which I think can
Yeah.
be put by the wayside a lot of the time because it just means that Charlie gets the one-on-one now, and he's harder to stop too. But look, credit to GWS today. That they had it all to play for, and they didn't shit the bed at all. They were fantastic from after Charlie sealed the Coleman. They were the better team on the
Mhm.
night. So it's as simple as that. You got to again you've got to be humble in these defeats as well. You've got,
Yeah.
and it's
No,
not easy
good
when you're
point.
not playing for anything. You are playing for form and momentum, which is that's why Voss kind of would have torn shreds off them. But yeah, no, Harry's okay. I'm not too
Yeah.
worried about him.
Yeah. And are people really calling it an eye gouge? Is that really an eye gouge?
No, I don't think so. I think he was
Right.
kind of like trying to drag him away, and it kind of just
I
slipped
thought
up. He,
I thought he
yeah,
let go of his face as soon as he realized his fingers might have been in the eye. So,
nothing in it.
yeah.
There's nothing in it.
Bit
I'd
of
be
panic,
surprised.
a little bit of Carlton panic in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Sunday
You
evening
need
from
the
the
headline.
supporter
You need the
base.
headlines and news lines before a big final series with Carlton, don't you?
Oh my god.
It's just nice to be involved, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that was my
Nice
next
to be in the
question.
conversation as a competitor as well.
Yeah. How do you mentally talk to yourself now, knowing we're going to finals? We're doing it. That's it. We're marching on Friday night in 2 weeks' time.
Bloody oath, bloody oath. Everyone's going to be there. The concourse around the MCG is going to be an absolute cauldron. And we're here to spook teams now. That Carlton Raw and that energy and the energy that we should have brought tonight it's a nice little wake up call for us as well, because in a fortnight time when we have all these fans rock up, you need to go mental from start to finish, because that crowd factor is enormous. it can spook opposition as well. And let's not forget too, Sydney, mate, they've got some real rock hard and sturdy players in that football team as well who have got grand final experience, premiership experience. I don't think that football club's going to be a lay down misère, mate. That's not going to be an easy game too. But we've got the talent to beat them. We were flat as attack against them, flat as the shit Carter's had against them up at the SCG a couple of months ago. And now we come in as the form team. We're going to go in as favourite. We're going to go into our home deck and we're going to invite them to the MCG and say, welcome to our house, lads. See how you go. See how you go. So, yeah, the only concern I think is Akers coming out because he's going to be a big blow if he doesn't play, mate. He's been sensational for the last 2 months.
Yeah, he really has. Really strong through in the contest as well. So,
he's going to be a loss. It's going to be a loss.
I'm excited. Am I allowed to be excited?
Yeah, mate,
I'm pretty fucking excited.
Mate, yeah, be excited. Like, mate, as I said, the only bugbear tonight for me was people walking out early. But it was full-on mass exodus. I don't like that.
Yeah, it didn't look
Even
good.
when we were going through the horrible time at the start of this year, I was not a fan of that. I didn't like that. But look, people are going to do what they do. Fair enough, whatever. But mate, we have got the biggest game in the last 10 years for this club coming up in a fortnight time, and that these boys need you to be behind them. Not we've just thrown all the momentum away and blah blah blah. A little bit of momentum, I get that, but what does that even mean at the end of the day? They would have looked back at this game and thought, Michael Voss and the coaching panel and the players would look back at that game and think, that's not the standard.
Yeah,
that's not where we need to be at come week 1 of finals, and they know that. They know that. It's as simple as that. Again, the game itself, I don't think it doesn't mean anything because they all mean something. These games, all these games mean something. So I think from my point of view, like I said, this game, this elimination final, is the biggest game for this club for the last decade, and let's make it a grand occasion and go out there and smash the Swans, eh?
Yeah, no, well said. See you on Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.
Wayne, who has now been a member of this channel, a paid member for 14 months, says he just hope we don't pick up some bad habits. That's all. Fair play. Peter V with the 5. It's how we bounce back and prepare for the next challenges. Finals, here we come. Dare to Dream 17. Wayne with the 5. Me and Pops didn't walk out. No, you never would. We love it. Joe Adamo.
How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. It's good. Finals, the regular season's done and we're not dead. This is different.
There's a reason there shouldn't be any concern, and there's a reason that you win 9 straight. You make sure you lock in finals before the last round so that if this happens, you don't need to be concerned.
Yes.
The blip. There's, there are a few supporters tonight that around our area that forgot very, very quickly the previous 10 weeks. And it was disappointing because, like Paul said, look, the walkout, whatever, people are going to do what they want to do. The walkout for me is, I've done it twice this season, but that's making a statement. What statement was there to be made tonight to the club? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. Some of the comments, it's just like, do we have memory of goldfish now? Well, I just don't get it. I don't get it. There should just be no cause for concern after that.
As in, we've seen the worst. That was not something to react like what we were the Essendon game, where it was a dark hole. I don't know. I feel like
the Brisbane game, the St Kilda game, like they were all the games where it's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm done tonight. Like I just can't do this. But come on, if you're going on a Sunday at 6:10, you're going to stay. To just see these boys off for the home and away season and go, see you in 2 weeks, boys. But it was a bit disappointing. I'm kind of with Paul on that. I know Dan was extremely frustrated at it as well, so I'm sure you'll hear from him tomorrow night on the podcast. Yeah. But, man, there's no concern. There's none. Absolutely none after that.
Yeah.
Be concerned if we give that level of effort in 2 weeks in a final. That's when you can start questioning things. Not after they've won 9 straight. Like they have to get to the point that they're at. I
think panic's one of the worst things we could possibly do right now as an energy to give out. And we watch games week to week and we react in the moment week to week.
Yeah.
As soon as that final siren went, I promise you, as I'm walking off, you know what I was thinking? Wow, how the hell did they make finals after where we were? That was all I thought about. I was like, okay, season's done. We look at it in its totality. Started off first half sluggish / poor.
No,
Second half, excellent.
I'll tell you something. I've been on socials on the tram home, and you don't hear negativity from Sydney supporters. You don't hear negativity from Saints supporters who just squeezed into a home final. You don't hear it from GWS supporters either, obviously. Why are we that club that wants to be negative? We got to get rid of this mindset, man. Like, we've made finals. We have finished in 5th spot. We are the 5th best comp for the year, coming all the way back from being a bottom 4 side 10 weeks ago. That is a phenomenal achievement in itself, regardless of what happens from here. And that's just the perspective we've got to keep as a football club now. We're not that club anymore that, like you said, goes into panic stations over something really in 2 weeks' time that is going to be insignificant if we win our first final. No one will remember round 24. Everyone will remember the elimination final against Sydney.
Correct. Yeah,
Hold your horses. Just hold your horses.
That's the most important thing for me. Getting through with no injuries. We spoke about Akers. Don't know how serious it is. Fingers crossed that it's not too bad and it's something that can be recovered in a couple of weeks. How'd you see Chera and Walsh and McGovern, the 3 of them that came in from their hammies?
Yeah, I think Gov looked all right by the end. He looked like he had his pace, which was good, which we're going to need. Walsh and Chera, good to get their legs under him. But, you can't discount the loss of Cripps in that midfield. And it's not, some people are critical of Cripps still, and I don't understand it. But I get that he can have quiet games, but even in his quiet games, he has 2 players hanging off him at a centre clearance, which means there's 1 free. That did not happen tonight. There was no one physical in there that they really needed to be worried about, the Giants. Like, they had the physicality over us, and they knew it. They took advantage of it, full advantage. So, Cripps back in 2 weeks with a bit more fitness under his belt and probably a little bit less hurt than what he's been playing. He's going to be huge. He's going to be massive. Massive.
It's a Friday night final, bro.
He has waited like 10 years for this. Like, imagine, try and put yourself into the mind of Cripps, Doherty, Curnow, Mackay, Wiedering, all these players that have been on our list for like 7, 8, 9, 10 years, never tasted it. And you're telling me as a supporter, because they weren't at the races tonight, you're going to doubt them? Mate, they are chomping at the bit for 2 weeks' time. I'm telling you, they are chomping at the bit.
Yeah, of course. Humans
didn't think it'd be Sydney, I tell you. I don't think any of us thought it'd be Sydney coming into the week.
No, didn't think it'd be Sydney. I don't really care who it is, because it's the G. It's us. It's our home. We've built, we've earned the right. We really have earned the right to be there. And I think I'm going to guess that the energy we're not going to bring this energy tonight into that final in a few weeks' time. So all those factors, nothing but exciting for me.
I'll tell you, I think Marvel is half the problem at times. Like,
you think?
We have been a soulless club for a long time, and that arena tonight probably suited that. But I said before the game to Jules and to Dan, I said, there's no atmosphere in here. Like, there's nothing. There's 50,000 people in there. It could have been 10. And I just feel like we need to get away from that ground as much as possible.
Yeah.
We found our soul, we found our identity, and it belongs at the G, like, week in, week out.
Yeah. It's a nice stadium, but it doesn't have the soul that the MCG does. It's not the same.
No. We're this club is designed to play on the MCG. Like, if you got 94,000 members, like, that, Marvel can't hold that. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's for people in bigger and high positions to work out. No concern tonight, man. Nothing at all.
Fair. sleep like a baby, have a nice good 7 hours sleep, and do the show tomorrow. And then I really do feel like Tuesday, that's it. Switch flicked. That's it. Done. We move on.
The Voss, I'm telling you, Voss and the coaching staff, they will send a rocket up them for what they produce tonight. There is no doubt in my mind they will get a nice little kick up the arse over the next couple of weeks. But I don't think they need it. If Charlie had the Coleman locked up, he probably wouldn't have even played. You could just see after they got a little run on in the third quarter, it just dropped off completely. Like there was just no need to go full tilt. But there was a play, Chera, I think he was basically chasing Cornelio, and he was going to 50%. Like that's not the effort that you will expect in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So much more to play for. So exciting, Joe. It's been a good journey, my friend. And we get to start doing finals content from tomorrow.
Reset, reload, relaunch. Let's fucking go.
Yes. Love it. Go Blues.
There, man.
Ur with 80. He says, feels like the game was over mentally for the boys after Charlie won the Coleman. Can't wait for finals. Well said.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Ed.
Hey, Tez, how are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I think echoing everything that's already been said here, especially that last comment about after Charlie kicked the one that got in the Coleman, it did sort of feel like, oh, yeah, that's what we wanted to see. And
that's what we came for today?
Yeah. And that was, I don't think we should overlook. That was a pretty special moment. It was a beautiful kick from 50 and, first Carlton player to go back-to-back in a Coleman. So that was a really enjoyable thing to be there for. But, I mean, I'm not concerned about the form that we'll be in 2 weeks. I think everything post the siren going last week is uncharted territory for this group. Every experience from here, and that includes having to play effectively the dead rubber that tonight was. And I mean, I don't know how aware the players are, but you've got to assume that they are. They would have known that Melbourne beat Sydney, which means that we went out onto the ground knowing we couldn't play GWS. So that removed even the need to sort of, hey, we better make a statement here because we could see these guys again next week. And look, they're professionals, but they're also human. And I think that element must have been there. So I expect to see the intensity go up, several notches in 2 weeks' time. And I think the return of some personnel, I just don't think we should be concerned. I do, however, think that we got a decent look at a few people who, okay, are they going to be in the best 22? And obviously picking the team's going to be a difficult thing in 2 weeks' time or 10 days' time, whatever it is. I know he's your man, Tez. I don't think Durden probably did enough for me to think that I'd pick him over Motlop right now. But I'm much happier that he got the run in case we need a small forward in finals. Let's say we have an injury in the next 2 weeks, or we have an injury in week 1 and in week 2 we need a small forward. Well, I'd prefer that Durden's had the run at AFL level now rather than coming in for the first time in 3 months. Paddy Dow. Oh God, you could host a whole show on Paddy Dow and where he is, couldn't you? I really like Paddy, but I think I don't have him in my best 22, but I think he's probably a better sub than Caleb Marchbank is. I thought that was a bit of a strange choice for sub. I'm not too sure why that was the sub. Anyway, mate, I think we learned a little bit. Like I said, all new experiences for this group, and this is perhaps next year, if we're in the same scenario, we'll do it better. What I mean by that is, if we're on that last round and we know we're finishing a particular position, perhaps we'll just handle it a little bit better. Like the way. Let's have a look at who handled it best. Collingwood handled it best on Friday night. A spifflicated team in the first 15 minutes, and then they can effectively just take their foot off the gas and enjoy a really nice game. I sort of said to my old man who was there, I said, if this stays tight, I don't see us winning it. The only way we're going to win this is if we blow them out of the water and sort of make them feel like there's nothing to play for. But as long as they've got something to play for, they're going to be really hard to beat here. And we didn't blow them away when we had a little bit of a chance in the first quarter. And yeah, what happened. But hey, I think this is the question we should all ask ourselves. If at the start of the year someone said to you, "We're going to finish 5th," and as we finish 5th, we're going to have possibly 9 of the most joyous weeks as a Carlton supporter that you'll ever experience. Are you happy with that? And I'd take that every day of the week at the start of the season. So I'm sitting here happy and looking forward to the finals.
Bang on. I think collectively, you're right. Preseason, I think a lot of the predictors were saying 12, 13 wins, maybe 14 wins. But yeah, you're right. If you had said at the end of the 24 rounds, we're 5th on the ladder going into finals, playing in a home final, MCG, would you take it after what happened last year? 100%. You know, I think the challenging part with footy and Carlton supporters or any supporters is we just get so locked into the moment, and it can be difficult to zoom out a little bit. But yeah, I felt that zoom out as soon as the siren went. Like, yeah, I'm a little bit I'm not happy that we lost tonight. I don't like that we lost tonight, but I also understand that it's a 24-week season plus finals, and yeah, we've got a really good. We have taken advantage of an opportunity, which I don't know if we're going to get in the next few years, where Cripps effectively is going to have 3 weeks rest to get all that rib issue done. Doc was a bit sore a few weeks ago. He's going to get a rest. I think Pitternet's going to be a lot better for the rest if we end up playing him. I think Harry's another one that looks like he needs a rest, or just more time to recover. So I'm kind of looking at it in that sense, and maybe I'm a bit naive because I haven't seen too many finals in my life, but I just feel like we took advantage of a situation that we earned by winning last week.
Yeah, that's spot on. I mean, you do the hard yards, and you can afford to not let up, but you can afford to do the things that you just talked about, which unfortunately can produce a result like tonight. I mean, look, we're all fickle, and as in Carlton supporters, and I'm as fickle as any, mate. I tell you what, though, if in 2 weeks' time we blow Sydney off the park, it'll be the greatest thing that we didn't go too hard in the Giants game. So what a great decision that was, So
it's so true. It's so true.
The proof's in the pudding, mate, and I back this group in to put in a really strong performance in 2 weeks' time, and it'll be a really exciting night. That the G will be absolutely buzzing. So yeah, can't wait.
See you in 2 weeks, Friday night, my friend.
See you in 2 weeks, mate.
See ya. Brandon Stone.
Big dog. How are you, man?
Mate, I am, you are, we are going to finals in 2 weeks, Friday night.
Feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. Job's not done. Sandra, you're right. Job's not done. I think the job just begins. It's like one season ends and then the real season begins. And if anything, I don't know. I think today was a bit of a wake-up call. I think we haven't lost in nearly 3 months, believe it or not. And I felt like today was just a bit of a wake-up call for that feeling again, so they can remember it, because no one wants to lose. It would have been a bit quiet in the change room, I would have thought, and just a bit of a humbling before the real season starts to get them switched on again.
Yeah, we had to give them something to talk about, though, didn't we?
Yeah,
Typical baggers, mate. And for the first time, mate, in about, however many years, it's the first time we've lost, mate, and I don't really care, if that makes sense. It doesn't sting me as much as all the other ones, because, and a few blokes have jumped on here and said it. And, mate, I'm in a position where I'm able to thank Carlton for 8 shitty weeks and then thank them for probably the best 9 weeks of footy that I've enjoyed in my lifetime. You know what I mean? And without those 8, the next 9 wouldn't have been any more enjoyable. It's a whole lot sweeter because of all that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and mate, I think we're going to run Sydney off the park, personally. I think we're going to fucking pip them.
Yeah.
But either or, mate, I legitimately, hand on heart, mate, I couldn't be more prouder of this group. Because, mate, not too many clubs would be round 10, written us off bottom 4. And then to say we're going to finish 5th, mate, I would have smacked you over the head with an apple. You know what I mean? Like, mate, I'd
True.
call you stupid to your face, mate. So to be able to turn that around, mate, it takes a special group, Tez. A special group. And, mate, there's been a few commentators to say it, a few critics here and there, but you can see it in this group, mate, and this group is built for finals. We're made for finals, mate. We have absolutely everything there. We have the stars there, mate. We have the hard nuts. This group is primed and built specifically for finals. And there's just no
Yeah.
two ways about it.
It's true. And I think because of the way we have set up our brand being a contested team, like finals footy, that contested stuff just goes right up. It levels right up. I'm curious to see how they're going to adjust to it because it's a different ball game. I wonder if it's going to take them a quarter or a period of time in the game in their first final for a lot of them that are going to be playing in it to sort of settle into the game. But I think at the end of the day, one thing I've learned about this team, if they bring that heat, application, defensively for 4 quarters, very few teams can beat us.
Yeah, and then there was a thing I was thinking of today, mate, which can really work in our favour, and it's an absolute rarity. And if you think of the other teams, mate, you know, the Collingwoods, the Brisbanes, the Melbournes, mate, through my whole life of supporting this club, there's just always been negative critiquing. Our backs are always against the walls, mate, through every year, right? So that can be at our detriment, but now there's nothing there now, mate. You know, you do that to Collingwood and Melbourne, you know, they might feel that. But because, mate, we've grown this group through all of that, through hard times, and it's like, mate, you could throw whatever you want at us, mate. We're just used to it all.
True.
We are used to absolutely every situation, every obstacle, anything people say, we've heard it all. Absolutely everything. Where Melbourne, you probably didn't hear it, you know, the last half decade, you know, the Collingwoods, you know, they're always hyping them up, mate. Even the commentators, mate. You couldn't give them $100 to give a compliment about Carlton, mate. You know what I mean? We play any other side, mate. We'll play Richmond. We'd be thumping Richmond by 100 points, and they'll just fucking talk about Dusty. You know what I mean, mate? It's just fucking, it does me fucking nutty, mate. The amount of times I want to give BT a flick on the ear, fucking hell, it does me fucking head in tears. But, you know, there's, mate, I'm not concerned at all, as the other blokes have said. Only concern, you know, not regarding, you know, the playing style and the intent that we have is probably Blakers, I think. It's probably a bigger miss than what people would assume, mate, because I dare to say he's probably top 3 in our BNF this year, to be honest with you. You know, with Charlie, Chera, and probably him is what I'd put. You know, and it'd be interesting to see the troubles they have coming into selecting a side, which is weird because Carlton, mate, we're not used to this shit. I'll tell you now, mate, we're not used to picking the best 22. It's usually whatever 22 puts their hand up and what we have to play with usually. Yeah, I was talking to my old man today, mate, about it, and he lives in Gold Coast, and we're trying to figure out a way and when Carlton are playing, because, mate, he's flying down every final because he doesn't want to miss it. Right? Yep, that's right. Yep.
Friday night.
So, which would be, mate, I found that weird, hey? I didn't think they'd put a final on a Thursday, to be honest with you. I thought they would have had 2 on the Saturday, 1 on the Friday, then on a Sunday. I don't know.
True.
I don't know. Usually that's how it goes, isn't it?
That's usually how it goes. Yeah, they've been really keen to get that Thursday night slot a regular. I mean, I like it because I like Thursday night footy because it just breaks up the week and it's just something to watch on a Thursday night. But yeah. Hey, what's your thoughts on the ruck situation?
Oh, mate, this is a fucking ripping conversation, this one. Mate, I feel, and mate, I love DeConning. I love this kid and I love Pitto, right? But for 2 separate reasons, I love DeConning as a player and for presence. But mate, I love Pitto as a ruckman, and that's it. So, depending on what you want to go out and do, mate, and obviously it depends on the opposition also, right? That's a major factor in it. Like if you're going up against Melbourne or whoever, you're going to want the 2 rucks, right? Because they can put Van Rooyen in there, Gawn. They can bring Grundy in, whatever the case is. So you've got to specify for what they do also. But I don't know. I don't know if was Pitto injured this week? Was that the reason?
I think he was rested and managed, because he's been strapped up with that leg, and it's just he's just not moving.
He's been
the
looking like the
same.
Michelin man, mate, the last couple of weeks.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And the thing is, mate, I was talking about all the previous ruckmans that Carlton have. And, mate, we've had pretty good ruckmans. You know, if you think about it, mate, Cruiser's, mate, I don't think Carlton's had a better ruckman / player than Cruiser, you know, in a very long time. He was a tractor, mate. He got injured a lot. But, mate, when he was on, you know, you couldn't touch this fella on the field, you know, and then you had, you know, and he reminds me a bit of TDK minus the athleticism because he gets around the ground a lot more. And Pitto reminds me of Robbie Warnock, you know, just that sole ruckman because Robbie Warnock was a good ruckman. Mate, he couldn't kick, mate, he couldn't fucking hit water if he was in a boat, mate, you know, mate, oh, Jesus, don't get me started on him. But, yeah, it's a tricky one. I feel it's just very dependent on what you do on the day. So they're my two, you know, and even with selection, mate, and come to finals, I feel we'll knock Sydney off. You know, I feel if this injury to Akers is serious and he does miss a week, I feel Dow keeps his spot. But saying that, you also have Kennedy to come in if he does. You know, there's been a lot of commentary with Kennedy and Hewitt in the same side, which I don't get because we done it for 10 weeks last year and fucking dominated the comp, right? Which is something I don't understand. I think it's just the casuals talking. But yeah, man, there's a few selection issues. I wouldn't have even been mad, mate, if they left Walsh and Cherry out this week, to be honest. But I can understand it because there's a risk both ways. You know, you leave them out for another week, then that's almost 6 weeks without a touch of a pill. Or you bring him in, get some legs and risk that. So it's more of a 50-50, but, you know, they got out of there unscathed. So all in all, mate, you know, as I said, I'm not stressed at all, mate. I'm ready to send Sydney packing quite convincingly because, mate, I'm going to be there. I reckon I'll have about 40 of my mates with me. Because, mate, I tell you what, Tez, I told you this a couple of weeks ago, man. Lygon Street isn't going to know what fucking hit him, mate. I'm going to be throwing pizzas across the park, mate. I'll be at Cafe Coretto having a cuppa and just letting everyone know, mate, I've been here from the shit times and now we're knocking premiership sides off, mate, in the finals, mate.
Yeah. No, well,
and
that's
we've
the
done
thing.
it with our rescues for 10 weeks of the year, mate. Keep that in mind.
True. No, it's a special time coming up, and I think we're all going to get over this one pretty quickly and get onto Sydney really, really quickly.
Yeah. Do you know, mate? Do you know when tickets go on sale? Do you have any idea on that or what?
No, I don't. I think it'll be within the next day or two.
Yeah, because, mate, I'll tell you
what I do know is that we're playing on the Friday.
Yeah, which will be at the G, obviously, no doubt about it.
At the G, mate, where we're going across the bridge. We're doing the whole lot, mate. It's all happening.
Mate, I'm going to have to take work off, mate. I'll come with you, I reckon.
Yeah, we're sleeping outside. We're camping outside the G.
That's what I'm saying. Mate, these tickets are going to get snatched up within 20 minutes. Yes. Easily. No doubt about it, mate. It'll be a full house. 85,000 will be Carlton. No doubt in my mind, mate. And it's going to be rocking. Because I remember I went to the Carlton Richmond one. And, mate, till this day, that's still the loudest crowd my ears have ever heard. And probably one of the best experiences I've had with this football club. We were never meant to be there, mate. All because of Essendon wanted to go on a bender. You know, they got kicked out. We went in, you know, and showed Richmond up, mate. You know, narrative changed. They went on to win 3 flags and we went on to win 3 wooden spoons. But that's in the past. We won't talk about that shit. But, you know, we're in the present, mate. And I reckon this elimination final will double that, I reckon. We'll send them on their way, mate, and onto great things because the trust I have in this group, regardless of today, you know, there's a lot of doubt that has creeped out of my mind after this year. So I reckon we're ready, man. Ready for the challenge. Take that next step and put Carlton back where we belong, mate.
Well said, mate. Rest up. See you in 2 weeks.
I'll rest up, mate. You rest up. You're going to need it if I see you, Tez. Let me tell you.
I will. Yeah.
All right, brother.
See ya. the Booze Hound. Thanks for the 5 there. Go Blues, Defiance. Well done, well done. Bravo, bravo. Josh, I see you.
Hey, mate.
What up, Josh? Will, it's not happening, bro.
How are we going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good as ever. We're playing finals. I don't see any reason to not be upset. This is the first time I'm coming on this channel, and we're gonna have fan cams in September. There's gonna be a preview in September. It's good, mate. Good times ahead. Good times ahead.
Happy 21st, mate.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was everyone loved my speech because at the end I yelled up the baggers. I'm sure they all appreciate that. But it was really good. I actually brought my Carlton scarf. I got a few photos with me and a few of my mates at Barry for Carlton holding it up while we all dripped out in the nice attire. But no, it's been a good weekend, mate. It was awesome. I sat front row tonight in the member zone bay, and Charlie kicked the sealer to get the gun right in front of me, which was amazing. And Seven Nation Army, I loved that. I really loved it.
What did you take, if anything, out of tonight? Like, where's your head?
I personally thought, based on the Sydney result, we just put the Q in the rack. I think that's terrible. I don't really like saying that. I feel like we should have been trying a bit more. But I think once Charlie got his Coleman and all that, we had 5th locked in. Like, GWS had everything to play for. They had everything to play for. We weren't really playing for much in the end. I know there's the whole talk about momentum and all that, but I just thought, you could see it. You know, we weren't running as hard as we used to, like we had been over the last 9 weeks. It just felt, quiet, which was a shame because we got 45,000 people in there too, which really did disappoint me because I was like, I hyped this game up today to be like, I'm thinking, it's going to be so loud in there tonight. I can't wait. It was pretty. Did you find it was buzzing pre-game?
It was buzzing pre-game,
Yeah.
no doubt. And I think when Charlie kicked his first few, it was buzzing. And then, I don't know. I just think I think the fans went through the motions just as much as what the players did, to be honest. I think we sort of showed up just because we just wanted to see Charlie get his Coleman, and we saw what we wanted, and then the exodus happened. And I mean, you touched on it just there. Like, this game is so tight and contested that any team can beat any team on any given day. And if you are 1% off, there's a big difference. If you're 2% off, there's a massive difference. And it goes to show when you're competing against someone or another team, when they if they lose today, the Giants, that's it. Today was a final for them. It had finals repercussions for them today. It was the end of their season if they did not win. So they just had when the going got tough, they had more to play for than what we did. We were never dead tonight.
Yeah, correct. And GWS also, they do have finals experience. They've got players that understand that pressure, like Toby Green and all that. They've played in grand finals. They've played in finals. So they understand that pressure. Whereas, like, I know, we can compare GWS today to us last year. We'd never been in that environment before. We've never felt that pressure. They have. So, I mean, I think Toby Green's, led them well. I don't really I don't like him, but he's a pretty good player. I'd love him wearing the monogram, I reckon.
I know that he was the antagonist tonight. They're like, I love him. I love him.
Yeah. He's got that title. But yeah, mate, I must say, I know Paulo did touch on it. I was a bit disappointed with people leaving early because, why? 6 weeks ago, not 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago, we lost 6 in a row. We were leaving because we were upset and angry with them. There was no reason to be upset or angry with them. We should have just, backed them in, and everyone should have stayed because, I feel they've won 9 in a row. They've got our trust. We're playing in September. Why leave? Just show them that we're all going to be here in 2 weeks' time at the G. 90,000 people. I thought it was stupid, but each to their own. I'd at one stage have left games too early, but I'm sort of at the stage where I want to just stay put. But yeah.
Yeah, fair. Well, buckle up because you're about to watch your first final series in 10 years. And
I don't know what to expect. I'm actually, I'm getting like, within that footy, 7AFL put their post up, with the previews, and I've looked and I've seen the monogram there. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, this is it. Here we go. 4 wins to go, baby.
I know how old you are, but let the people know how old you are for context.
21.
21.
I turned 21 on Friday.
So do you remember much about 2013?
Mate, nothing. Nothing.
Right.
I remember 2009 more than 2013. That makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but that's fine.
No.
So as someone who just doesn't really have too many memories of finals, let alone grannies, like how do you think about what's about to happen? Not just next 2 weeks, but for the next few years.
This is an awakening. This is the awakening. We got 94,000 members and we haven't even played in the final. Like, if we play in a prelim or a grand final, like, how much more can they go up? Like, our supporters are so invested, and especially now that we're playing so well, like, everyone's like up and about. I can see, like, we haven't done anything yet, but this side as well, like, it's just star-studded. Vossi, the coaching group's great. We've got real stability off the field now. I feel like, I don't know, big things in the next few years. Like, we'll be talking about 17 and then maybe 18 and 19, Like, that's how I feel. And I don't want to get too far out of myself, but I reckon, I don't know, we've set ourselves up for a very successful period ahead. I'm very excited, mate. Very excited.
Well, in 2010, we played Sydney in an elimination final, and they beat us.
We owe them one.
Ran away. 2013, we played them after we beat Richmond in the semi at the SCG. Never really in the game.
Yeah.
This time around, we get them at the MCG. So
yes,
that's a big thing.
That's massive, and in front of our fan base as well, that has been so starved of just good quality football, right? Good quality football. So 90,000 people who haven't even experienced a final like myself. I've never been to a final before. So I honestly am rocking up next Friday night or whenever it is. I'll be rocking up like not knowing what to expect. All I know is that I'm going to be fucking screaming and I'll have no voice by the end of the first quarter. I'm that fucking excited, mate. I'm so excited.
It's good. Well, enjoy the rest of your 21st weekend, and we'll see you in the next few weeks.
Absolutely, mate. Up the fucking baggers.
Up the baggers, mate. Zach Borg, you with me, mate? Zach?
Hey, Terry. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Talk to me.
A few things I want to say. It doesn't matter if we lost, Terry. It was hold on, I'll put this here for a second. Hold on. It doesn't matter if we lost, Terry. It's all right. We're in the finals. That's all that matters. But a few things I want to clarify. Do you think that did you see Chincotta at all today? Hold on.
Okay, we'll talk to you next time. I did see Chincotta. Ur with 15 says Sunday night games not ideal. Working week starts tomorrow. Kids have school, so don't be too hard on us, especially when it's a dead rubber. Yes, fair. I would not know. I do not have children. Rock goes down here. We got Lewis. Can't hear you, mate.
Sorry. Hey, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. I'm saying this right now. I didn't even care we lost. I never cared about a game more than ever. I never cared. I just didn't care, honestly.
You just want to get through unscathed, or what? Yeah, what were you thinking going into the game before the bounce?
Well, when I was thinking going into the game, I was like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. Like, I think like the main objective here is number one, get Charlie Curnow to win his Coleman medal, and also to not get any injuries. Like, I think that was the main thing to do. Like, I really do think in this game, right, we have to look at like what this game means as well. So the way I see it, I think we were just trying new things that didn't work, or what worked. So it's like a practice game for me. This is like a practice match to see if to see what we can do in the finals or what should we not do in the finals. So you know what? At the end of the day, I was like, yeah, all right, Giants won. Charlie Curnow won his Coleman medal, which means congratulations to him. First Blue to win back-to-back Coleman medals. Congratulations. But I really do think, to me, I really didn't like how some of the fans left. Like, why are they leaving? Come on, like, clap for them. Like, I know they lost, but still, clap for them because they turned this season around. Like, who would have thought we would be fifth spot playing finals? Like, it's a great achievement to have because we haven't played finals in 10 years. It's a great milestone for us, and I really am happy the way this season's turned out to be. It's impressive, positive signs going to September, and yeah, man, I think for the turnover game, that's something that I reckon we can work on next week. And just like, I know he didn't I think we created a lot of chances today with that game. We just didn't execute, but I think, to me, if we can fix that, then we can go a long way, because in the finals, it's the turnover game that really is like the main strength in the finals. So yeah, I reckon, to me, just play our best 22 and we'll probably cause damage in the finals.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming you're going to be at the final.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I haven't. No, here's the thing, Terry. I have never seen a final. I've never seen Connor play in the finals. I couldn't see 2011 because I don't remember it. And in 2013, I was in Greece and I couldn't watch him. Oh no! This is the first final I'm gonna watch. But look, I think, to me, I believe in this group. I believe in Michael Voss. We can do it. We can do it. I mean, it's all possible. This competition is all possible. Like I said, I have no doubt in my mind, and I am all faith. I am all in with this group and this supporting fan base. So yeah, let's bring it on. Let's go Blues, and let's win our 17th flag.
Well said. Good stuff, Lewis. Speak to you soon, mate.
See ya, man. Go Blues.
Rocco.
Yo, mate,
Yeah.
we're playing finals in 2 weeks' time. Do you believe it?
You wouldn't know. About 45 minutes ago, if you had read the chat, you would not have known we're playing finals.
I was reading the chat, mate. I was reading the chat. I've been
hell,
reading
mate.
Facebook, man. What's everyone going on about? Listen, I understand everyone's just a little bit down. Trust me, you'll wake up tomorrow, you'll forget about all this. We're playing finals.
Yeah.
You know, so everyone's just got to just relax. Oh, look, there are a few little worrying signs. Let's not be.
Yep.
Of course there is. You know what I mean? Last week, we started well. We didn't start well, and then we came back. And then this week, like there were patches that we played well. And there were other times where it just seemed like they were just off. They were just missing out their target. I think they'll learn from this, and they have to. They've got no choice. Let's be honest, mate. They're going to have to learn, or else you're not playing the week after. It's simple, and they know that. But they're just going to see that if you're just 10% off, and I think they were more than that today. I think they were 20% off. But if you're 10% off, mate, you're going to get beaten. And I think it's not ideal to lose, but it might be that kick in the ass that we need, mate. Let's be serious, man. Like, they're going to go in there. They're not going to be happy about this effort. And you could just see it was just the atmosphere was off. They were off. It just wasn't there, you know. But
You know what
I
it
wasn't
was?
that upset about it.
Do you remember? It might have been one of your first 3 fan cams. You came on and you said, "Terry, I want you to put your hand up as high as you possibly can."
Yes.
And I went like
Very
this.
good.
And
Very
then you
good.
said, "All right, now put it higher." And I did. And then you said, "Oh, hang on. I think I told you to put it as high as you could the first time." It felt like we only went one level as high as we can
100%.
without actually, you know.
That's very good. That's perfect. I think that's actually perfect. Everyone should take that. That is perfectly. I think we thought we went as high as we could. We could have gone that little bit, but I also think that because we'd already made the finals and that they didn't want to. I don't know if they didn't want to put it out there. They didn't. I think as much as everyone says they're worried about injuries. Like we were you worried about injuries? Were you saying in that second half, especially, were you saying, fuck, let's just, especially when Akers goes off, you go, all right, just no more bloody injuries, yeah?
Correct.
Are the players thinking that?
I mean, Saad was proppy after a collision. McGovern was proppy after a collision. Wiedering was proppy. He was limping a little bit. And I was thinking, I was like, just fucking get him off the field.
I said that. I was going to Dylan, mate. Let's get Kerno off. Let's get Wiedering off. Let's get Walsh off. Like, seriously, play with 15 if you have to. Like, it doesn't matter anymore because we've done it. And I think that mentality was through the whole team, through the whole coach. It was through the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like this thing, I know everyone's been talking about it, them leaving early, the plastic supporters, right? But it was in their mentality too. That's why they left.
Correct.
Well, we got it next week. Don't worry about it. Let's just go home. Like I don't even want to see this. You know, like let's move on. I think that's what their mentality was. That's why they were leaving. You know what I mean? And it's no good that they were leaving. But you know what? Those people that left will always leave. So let's not worry about them. You know, like just worry about us. You know, like we're there. And you know what? When they are there, good, we'll all celebrate together. But the ones that leave, they're always going to leave, man.
Correct.
They'll always leave. They'll leave when we're up because they want to catch an early train. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. I don't care about them. It was a bit down. Let's all forget about it. I think tomorrow we're going to discuss it. We're going to analyze it, and then, mate, we've got a final series to talk about.
Tuesday. I mean, you guys will obviously you'll film Jumper Punch. It'll go up Tuesday, and then I will forget this game very quickly.
100%. You're going to forget this game. You're going to forget Charlie won the Coleman. You know what I mean? You're going to forget all of that, and we're going to concentrate on going in on. It sounds like it might be a Friday night against Sydney, maybe. You know. That's what it's going to be all about. It's going to be about playing Sydney. Who's going to line up who's going to be ready. We're going to be like next week, you're going to be talking about who comes in, who comes out. That's what you're going to be worried about. Who's ready to come in, who didn't make the grade, you know what I mean? That's what we're going to be thinking about. That's what they're going to thinking about. And trust me, everyone, when they go in next Friday, the Friday after in this final, mate, it's going to be on. Trust me, mate. We've seen in the last 10 weeks, like the last 9 weeks before this, mate, we've seen an intensity by these guys. The way that what you think that they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
That first final, they're going to go in all hell. I'm telling you, it's going to be huge, man. I'm telling you, they're going to be going in. And if they go down fighting, so be it. But don't think they're going to. Like I saw comments, and again, look, we shouldn't take into this, but I see comments going, "Oh, the momentum's gone." What do you mean the momentum's gone? You know what I mean? Like
it gets me going.
Serious people, mate.
I'm with you. It's like I shouldn't read into it, but like I get the notification. I'm
I
like,
know.
what are you, madam or sir? Like, what are you talking about?
I know. What's going on, man? What do you mean the momentum? They've built this like this momentum. They've built this style, this attitude for the last 9 weeks, man. Like I praise them what they've done in the 9 weeks. Now we're coming in, man, and they got us where we wanted to get to. And there had to be a little bit of a letdown this week. Think about it. It's human nature.
Yeah.
It's human nature to have this letdown, mate. And it's good. I just saw their reality check. Yeah, I think it's a good thing, man.
Yes.
It's a good thing. Reality check, mate. Voss is going to be right into him. You watch, Ross, and the captain, and all of them are going to be right into him. You don't think there was some disappointing efforts tonight, yeah?
Yeah.
Mate, these people they're proud people. They're not going to be happy with that. You know what I mean? So I think, as I said, let's everyone tonight feel sorry for yourselves, whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, in the next few days, man, it's finals bound, mate.
Yeah. Because if we win, we say, oh, we've won 10 in a row. We're the form team of the competition. We're clearly the favorites for the flag. We lose tonight, and it's a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth. And I think what it does is it just makes it real again. Like, hey, this is real.
100%.
You know, we're one loss away from our season ending now, and only one win away from advancing to the next level. So it's all stations go, and I just can't imagine them being laconic or lackadaisical in that
No
final.
way.
There's just no way.
No, we've been like hanging out for this day, and we've been like berated, and we've been like laughed at. And what you think they're going to come up on that first final and just be like half-hearted? It's not going to happen. Trust me, man. They're gonna give everything they got. I've got complete faith in this side, man. I've got complete faith, man. We've put a week under Walsh and Chera and even McGovern, you know what I mean? And we found out a few little things by, like someone like Durden. Unfortunately, I don't think he's quite ready this year for it. Like that Motlop kind of energy was kind of lacking a little bit, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a different team. You put Cripps in there. Come on. Put the beast. You put Ray in there, mate. I'm telling you, it's gonna be different. You got like Doherty coming in. So, I really wasn't that too concerned tonight. I really wasn't. It was almost something that you wouldn't want this to happen in week one, all right?
Correct.
Let's happen now and get everyone get excited, mate. I'm telling you, we made the finals. We made finals, mate.
We are contending
and
for a
we're
flag.
real contenders. Hey, don't everyone forget, mate. We're still real contenders out there, mate. Teams are still worried about us. Man. And before today's game, everyone's saying we're the most informed side. Well, what's changed? Like 2 quarters? I'm telling you, mate. I'm bloody wrapped. I'm excited about what's about to happen, mate. That big game, mate. I want us all there, and I want us to yell. And we did the chant tonight. We did the bloody.
What'd you think? I liked it.
I sat there, and week one's going to be bigger, right?
Yes.
But I liked it. Everyone did the first the Queen chant at the start, and then everyone started singing along with it. I think we can do a little bit better.
Yep.
But again, it's the first one. Everyone's a little bit. It's like when the Wolf first come out. Everyone do it? Everyone's waiting for someone else to do it. But guys, mate, scream it out. And I think it's going to be big. I liked it, man. I think I really liked it. I thought it was really good, man. And there was that big, and the Wolf at the start was big too. And the cheer when Curnow kicked that goal, the energy was up, and then it just went down a little bit, with everyone. So energy was up. I liked it, man. Mate, make sure we cheer big and strong in that first final, man. We got to sound those swans. mate, we're going to pay them back for what they did for us. They made me go to Sydney, mate, and waste all my money over there, right? I want payback on those people. I want payback. And they're like, it's not a cheap state to go over there too.
No,
mate,
it's not.
Made me... And the flight was cancelled. They cost me money because I had to get another flight. They were dogs, mate. So I want punishment for all of them. I don't know if does Buddy play? Is he retired or is he coming back?
No, I think he's done. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think he's playing. So and I'm not sure on Papley. He was a laid out, and I'm reading that he may have hurt himself a bit. So we'll see.
Oh, really? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who we play, who's playing. We're ready. I'm telling you, we're going and everyone get ready. First week, second week, mate. There's going to be some big finals coming up. Everyone get pumped, mate. Everyone get pumped.
Yep. Bloody oath. Rock, we will see you Tuesday night for the jumper punch.
Done. See you guys.
See you, mate.
Hello, Terry.
Hello, Lucinda.
How are you feeling?
I'm
out
feeling,
of 10.
How am I feeling out of 10? I'm feeling 9 out of 10.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pretty quick to think about the season in totality, even though it's not over. But end of round 13, if you had said we'd be finishing 5th, I don't think any of us would have seen how we were going to be able to do that. So I'm grateful to be talking to you, knowing that there's still another game coming.
Yeah. So basically, my take is I enjoyed the tight kick or less and even your 19 or less, because that's finals footy. You're not going to have the 60s or the 70s, and that's not good preparation. And it's good for them to have what people are calling the wake-up call or the reality check, because then they'll see, hang on, this could be taken from us. How much does it mean to us? I mean, Boss is not going to bully them. He's going to, give constructive criticism. This is how this happened. This is how we avoid it. And he's always said, whether he's on the ground or in a press conference, we look at the present, we don't look back. So they'll see this as a thank God it happened when we still had another chance. And how do we avoid it? And yes, okay, we don't have the greatest, record with Sydney, but we haven't been this Carlton side. So, we're spoiled for choice of, who's helped us win the 9 and who wasn't there and, come and go. But we only lost by 26 and it was over there. So I noticed, because I tipped us correctly the last 9 and I had us, either just losing or just winning. So, okay, they, got me wrong, but, they had everything to play for. If we were trying to qualify, we would have been a different beast, I think. Not saying that they didn't want to, it's just that they knew that they didn't want to risk the players for the long haul. I think they just wanted to look after everyone. So I think, the 4-point victories have just been the perfect preparation, and obviously we need to avoid that. But it's a different outfit that's facing Sydney. And again, we don't have to travel, so there's not the PTSD going off. They have to, come into our lair, so to speak, and you just hope it's not raining. But, we can do it even in the rain. But no, I saw a text from Carlton and they said the pre-sale info will start from Monday. So basically that's when people find out what the codes are or when it goes on sale or whatever. But sorry, it should be fairly soon. I'm hoping to get a ticket, but obviously I've got Pommy if I don't. So that's all good. But no, I think that it was good to have a 9-1 because it shows them what it could be to have it all taken away, and they're going to fight even more. So, okay, we go in 10 out of 10 recent. We get a little bit ahead of ourselves. We might get a bit semi-arrogant, God forbid. And then there's all the extra pressure and expectation, and it's at home. It's better that we keep the people guessing which Carlton's going to turn up, 9 in a row or 1, and then we scare them a bit. And it's not a failed season if we just get pipped or whatever. I don't think it will happen. I think we'll beat them and then some. It doesn't matter if, Buddy came back. We need to face everyone's best 22 because we need to fear nobody. If we're going to take the silverware, we need to fear no player. We need to fear no team. We need to be the team that does that to others. So yes, you kind of have the PTSD because it has been such a drought, and 2013 feels like 20 years ago. And of course, you're scared because you don't want to get your hearts broken or whatever. But what it comes down to is they've just had a flash before their eyes, near-death experience. They're going to be a totally different beast, and it's going to be more 9 weeks Carlton than whoopsie daisies, and then anything can happen. If we beat Sydney by, say, 22, the other teams are going to be a bit scared, and they might say, "Oh, there's nobody," and even when they had Buddy, we were less than 30 points. 26 points was the deficit when we weren't all there. So now they've had this little whoopsies. How did we let that happen? Hey, we've looked after our bodies. We've got a week off. Yeah.
To wake them
I
up
think
a
we
bit.
can do them.
It's a good perspective. I like it. Lucinda, is this the first time you've been on the fan cams?
For you, yes. I was with Pommy last week.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's great to have you on.
Yeah.
Appreciate you tuning in.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Go Blues.
Yep, go Blues.
Hey,
Zach.
Terry.
Hey,
I'm
mate.
back.
Where'd
Sorry,
you go?
mate.
What happened?
First I want to say it doesn't matter if we lost. I don't reckon it was a wake-up call. I reckon we'll just resting players, take it easy, finding out new ways with the team and all that stuff. I reckon we weren't even trying today. I'm gonna be honest, because in that last quarter, we were resting a lot of players because I don't think we wanted to come back and you know what I mean. I don't want you don't want to come back get them tired and we had nothing to play for because we're in the finals. But the Giants had everything to play for. We were resting everyone. It I think we still did pretty well considering all that. But we're in finals, Terry. So it doesn't matter. Get pumped, Terry. Everyone just it's so good and but Voss has a big selection ahead, and I reckon now this is I know everyone might be a bit shocked about this, but I reckon Chincotter's going to get dropped for the finals. I don't reckon he's up to it yet. I reckon when Marchbank came on today, he was great. Marchbank was great. He did really well, and I reckon we chuck. I reckon we play Marchbank there, and we bring Kennedy back in. If Akers is injured, or we put Fisher on the wing, and we play Kennedy in the defence. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting team selection. But yeah, Terry, what do you think, Terry? Are you going to go to the finals? Aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be there. I've been looking forward to it for too long to miss it. It's been a long time coming, Zach. I thought we were going to play finals in 2020. So we've had to wait a little bit longer. But yeah, I think just for all of us, for everything we've had to sit through and just sort of pick up.
We deserve this than any other team.
Yeah, we do. We do deserve it. I think we needed the boys needed to go out and earn it and earn the right to be there, which they've done. And now that they've done that, that doesn't mean that they're going to win just because we've been through a lot. They've got to find another gear now. They've got to go up another level and raise the standard again. So that's what I'm excited to see.
I reckon for the finals we've been back in Pito because I don't reckon Mackay was up to it today. Yes, he just came back. He did okay in the ruck. I don't think he is that man as the second ruck because I reckon when he Pito back, I reckon we're just resting him. Like the other guy said that was on 20 minutes ago, I'm pretty sure. I reckon, like he'll be really handy down there because, like he said, if we're coming up against like a team with like big two ruckmen, we need Pito there because Titigo will just get smashed around and he'll get hurt, and then Mackay needs to play his role. He can't always just ruck and all that stuff. So that'll be interesting to see what we do. I'm pretty hyped, Terry. Like, we're in the finals. The way we turned around our season is amazing. And go the Blues for the finals. Everyone should not get themselves down about the loss. Come on, Blues!
Go
Bring on
Blues.
finals. Good night,
Good on you,
Terry.
Zach.
Have a good night.
See you, mate. All right. It's been a long time. Here he is.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm basically at Crown, obviously, just from after the game. Really good that you had that nice chat with Zach. It's good to see these young kids seeing what Carlton of old was really made of, and we only hope that after 10 long years, or 12 to be exact, but anyways, it's good that we're there. I mean, it was great for Charlie to obviously go back-to-back Coleman medals. I mean, he's just a freak of nature, and he's born for these type of games, and we just can't wait to obviously take on the Swans and give them the blood that they deserve. Because speaking of Sydney, you want to know their last 3 games at the MCG? The grand final last year belted. Melbourne early in this year belted by 50. And Collingwood by, a convincing 5-6 goals. So if anything, we literally had 3 teams, funny enough, that we could have played. If this game had been a draw tonight, this would have been a rematch for 2 weeks' time for GWS. True. Obviously win tonight, Bulldogs. But unfortunately, not what we wanted. But at least this time around compared to 12 months ago, where we had all of us supporters slamming seats and wanting to turn on each other. And I guess that was the stage in the middle part of this year, obviously. But we're able to obviously just relax more tonight and to obviously just enjoy the moment for Charlie and obviously for the team. You can't win them all. And we're still the most informed side in the competition, still going into finals. 9 out of our last 10. We've done something that we haven't done for 23 years. That's obviously have this current winning streak. And it's good that all those that are 22, 23 years and under can actually see this is the Carlton that was always known for success. Yep. When you have young supporters saying, "Oh, the real us is when we lose," and we're like, no, breaks my heart, breaks your heart, it breaks all of our hearts. We're seeing exactly what we were known for: ruthless aggression. Been saying this for years, weeks, months, all of that. We've all had that perspective, And look, I wanted to obviously come here to just, I guess, not just better myself, but just more for all of us that, look, we go through a lot of patches in life. There are times where things, I'm sure we regret or not regret for the actions and causes that we do. But at the end of the day, let's just enjoy the fact that we're in finals for the first time in 10 years. Or, of course, if we want to be a bit more problematic, 12 years when we last legitimately made it. But look, I still think in an optimistic mind, this is my optimistic mind that I'm going by here, and I'll give you the 2 options. So the optimistic mind tells me this: we can beat Sydney at the MCG due to their bad track record and obviously get the revenge from what happened early in this year at the SCG. Then if you look at a Collingwood or Melbourne, we've beaten them both. And, of course, they'll be under immense pressure to not go out in straight sets, which, of course, leaves me to the fact that if we were to go deep, you're looking at a Brisbane or Port Adelaide. If we were to happen to, say, in an imaginary world, get there, that'd be great. And if that's as far as we can get, that's an absolute bonus. But I think we've got to remember one thing as well, and I might as well mention this now so it doesn't get repeated for years on end. One final series, 1 year will not determine this club, right? Perfect example. Brisbane Lions are in their 5th consecutive final series, right? And they know they're in the best position to finally get there in the last day of September. So always remember this. If you make finals, it's always a pass every single time, right? You make finals, it's always a pass, regardless, all right? Who knows? We might go deep this year. And then who knows? In 12 months' time, maybe we might get knocked out in the first week or second week. But finals is always a pass regardless, because the more finals games you play, the better you are for the long run compared to teams when they're coming into their first experience and you've had some runs on the board. You know exactly when your time is there to strike, and you use all those experiences to feel the pain, but reward yourself with the ultimate game.
Mate, well said. I think the last time we spoke on the fan cams, you are the last one to be accounted for. We lost another fella, Lewis, who came back a few weeks ago, and you did say that you would only return once we made finals. So we've done it. You're back. The man who was on the first video of this channel. So it's good to have you back, mate.
Yeah, and it was good to have a chat, obviously, early in the week, which, you know, we're not going to disclose of that. We know that we had to sort it out, and I just wanted to say a thumbs up there. It was good. And, yeah, because, I mean, what was it? I think it was the West Coast fan cam round 7, which only we had to win by a certain margin because it was a St Kilda game. I literally did say this. I thought our season was done. I stand by that claim. It's good that the club's proved us wrong. I'm happy for that. And now, just go for it, boys. We have nothing to lose. Go with everything that you've got, because the Swans were coming for blood.
Well said. Good on you, mate. Go Blues. All right. There's your fan cams. Round 24. I think we settled down a little bit towards the end there. That was good. It's the Carlton passion. That's what it is. We care so much. We want perfection. We strive for perfection, and we settle for excellence, somewhere in between. That'll do it. That'll do it for a regular season. Not a good result, but more important things on the horizon. Getting guys through unscathed was, I think, a bigger priority. And I think now we have full focus turned to the Swans. We know that if we don't bring the defensive application that we know this group can bring, then we're going to lose. I think it's really as simple as that. And see you at the MCG in 2 weeks, Friday night. Can't wait. Have a good night, everyone. Go Blues.